Some in the zoo, I got something in the shoebox. I can with my mood, tell me something that I lose me. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
78 Sports TV here. Shout out to the LDBC, Lions Den boxing community. For those who don't know, now you know. Make sure you guys go and check out Smoke City Mobcast, the Smoke City Mobcast, right here on YouTube. Every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is where the LDBC gathers once a week to discuss the current state of boxing. All right? Also, go over and sign up to the LDBCsports.com. That's www.ldbcsports.com. All right? AJ. Hey, Juicy J. We ain't forgot about you, boy. We on you now. We on you now. Man, this is going to be fun. Just exposing the truth. This is, you know what's fun about exposing AJ is that you don't have to make up shit. You know, when them guys hate on Wilder and stuff like that, they got to make up a lot of shit. They mix lies with the truth, like using tricknology. But with AJ, I can just tell the truth, and it's still hilarious because this guy is unfucking believable. Him and his promoter Eddie Hearn. But it's my belief that A Juicy J is the most protected fighter currently in boxing today. Okay. Now, he clearly has the WBA right where he wants him. The WBA is favoring Anthony Joshua, okay? Now, let's go back and remember how Anthony Joshua even got the WBA title, okay? First of all, Tyson Fury, who had all those belts except the WBC, which was held by Deontay Wilder, okay? Tyson Fury had all the rest of those belts when he defeated Vladimir Klitschko. Tyson Fury then went on a series of self-destructive behavior, and he, smoking dope, snorting coke, taking steroids, whatever the fuck he was doing, mental health issues, which led to him being stripped or having to vacate his titles. Now, the IBF title was the first one to become available. Charles Martin seized that title. Charles Martin, instead of fighting Deontay Wilder in a unification bout, decided to go to the UK and fight Anthony Joshua, okay? And he went over there to fight Joshua. He lost. Joshua beat Charles Martin for the IBF title. Then, Anthony Joshua, okay, I'm skipping ahead here. Anthony Joshua wants to fight Klitschko, all right? Klitschko wants to fight Anthony Joshua. He doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder, right? Now, mind you, there's evidence, there's articles of this, all of this. You just have to want to find it. If you don't want to find it, you won't find it. You understand me? But Klitschko didn't want to fight Deontay Wilder. He wanted to fight Anthony Joshua. Right? Now, Klitschko's excuse for not fighting Deontay Wilder was that Wilder hadn't fought anybody, and Wilder needed to prove himself. But he then turns around and fights Anthony Joshua, at that time, who hadn't fought anybody, hadn't proven himself. You understand where I'm going with this? All right? These are just facts, right? Just facts. So now Klitschko fights Anthony Joshua. Now, but Anthony Joshua said, before the fight got signed, he told the WBA that he wanted the WBA title on the line. Klitschko wanted the title on the line as well. All right? The vacant WBA Super Championship. He wanted that on the line. Now, neither one of these guys had done shit to earn for that title to be on the line, right? Other guys like Luis Ortiz, who were in line for that title, should have been fighting for the title, right? Luis Ortiz was in line to fight for the vacant WBA title. But they robbed Luis Ortiz of that opportunity. Eddie Hearn, who was Luis Ortiz's promoter at the time, told Ortiz, and this is all factual, everything I'm telling you, you can go verify and look it up, okay? Everything I'm saying, you can go verify. Don't listen to your favorite YouTube channel. Go look up the articles on everything I'm telling you here. Luis Ortiz, who was signed to Eddie Hearn, who was the mandatory for the WBA title, he objected to AJ versus Klitschko fighting for a belt that he's supposed to be fighting for. So Eddie Hearn told Luis Ortiz, listen, man, if you allow AJ and Klitschko to fight for the vacant WBA title, we promise you that you're next, right? Big dollars, Luis, big dollars. Ortiz said, okay, man, all right, I'll let you guys fight for it. I'll get the winner. I'll make the big bucks, you know what I mean? I trust you, Eddie. You know what I mean? Lucifer, I trust you. So, of course, AJ fights Klitschko in a classic fight. He beats Klitschko. And then, after that fight, the WBA says, hey, we told you guys, the winner must face Luis Ortiz. So the WBA said, you guys got 30 days to come up to some agreement to fight Luis Ortiz. He told Joshua and his team this. You guys got 30 days to come up with an agreement. Let me. What date was that? That was August 3rd, 2017, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been August 4th, but my mind is telling me August 3rd, 2017. They told, the WBA said, listen, you must face Luis Ortiz, okay? You knew before fighting Klitschko that you had to fight Luis Ortiz. Next. You knew that. AJ stalled. He stalled the whole fucking summer. He stalled the whole fucking summer. Months after beating Klitschko. He kept trying to force Klitschko into a rematch. Right? Kept trying to bully Klitschko. Come on, Klitschko. We're going to give you so much money for a rematch. We can fight in Las Vegas and make big money in America. Come on, fight the rematch. Don't retire. Klitschko retired, right? Ortiz is still waiting, right? So then, when no rematch happens, Joshua's supposed to be fighting the WBA mandatory in Luis Ortiz, the rightful owner of the WBA title, the man who gave you the title with promises that he would get next, right? No, AJ goes and says, well, I got the IBF mandatory too. Pulev is the IBF mandatory. I got to fight the IBF because I had the IBF title first. So I got to fight the IBF, right? Then Pulev says, I don't want no smoke, right? So Ortiz comes back like, look, don't nobody want to fight you? Fight me. I'm the motherfucker you're supposed to be fighting. And mind you, Ortiz is pressuring the WBA at this time as well. Like, look, what are y'all doing? Look, I moved out of the way. I took step aside to allow AJ and Klitschko to fight for my belt, right? With the promise that I'm next. And then they try to have a fucking rematch with Klitschko. Then, now they trying to fight the IBF mandatory. WBA says, oh, wait, we're working on it. We're working on it, Luis. Don't worry. Then, when Pulev pulls out for the IBF, Carlos Takam, right? AJ goes to find Carlos Takam to fight for the IBF mandatory, right? So he fights Takam. Decides to fight Takam. And check this out. This is the beauty of it all. So they completely fucked over and ducked Luis Ortiz, right? But Anthony Joshua told the WBA that he rejected Luis Ortiz as a mandatory. Anthony Joshua, it's on record now. I can't wait till one of y'all say it didn't happen so I can body bag you. It's on record. Anthony Joshua told the WBA that he don't want to fight Luis Ortiz. He don't agree that Luis Ortiz is the mandatory. Should be his mandatory. Because at this time, Luis Ortiz had got so frustrated that he started negotiating with Deontay Wilder to fight for the WBC title. Right? When everybody said that, you know, they was trying to push Wilder on Ortiz at that time, all the AJ protectors, because they knew AJ was ducking Ortiz, so they tried to put Wilder on Ortiz, like, well, Wilder should fight him. Wilder hasn't fought anybody. Why don't Wilder fight this big dangerous guy? AJ has stuff. He just beat Klitschko. It's a signature win. Wilder should be fighting Ortiz, right? Wilder decides to fight Ortiz in a shocker. Shocked everybody. And then Ortiz tests positive with the WBC clean boxing program. Tests positive for what's that shit? High blood pressure medication, right? Now, Ortiz failed to report this high blood pressure medication. So while the WBC they called off the fight. WBC called off the fight, and Wilder had to fight his mandatory in Bermane Stavern. One hit a quitter, knocked Bermane Stavern smooth the fuck out, right? In a highlight reel knockout, right? Made Deontay Wilder a superstar. His victory over Bermane Stavern, right? So in the meantime, the WBC had given Luis Ortiz a pass. And they said, you know what? We investigated. We find that you're being truthful. We don't think you were trying to, get over on nobody. We think you were just taking high blood pressure medication, not to mask anything, but because you actually have high blood pressure, right? That was their ruling. The WBA, on the other hand, where Luis Ortiz was still the mandatory, decided to remove Luis Ortiz from his mandatory position, remove him from the mandatory position at the request of Anthony Joshua. Don't believe me, do you? I know you don't. You don't believe me, do you? You think I'm bullshit. You think I'm making this up. Oh, yeah, that's rubbish. American, you Americans, what they say, you chat shit. You Americans, you chat shit. I know you don't believe me. That's okay, because I got the receipts. You see? AJ requested that Luis Ortiz be removed as his mandatory. Those are facts, ladies and gentlemen. Complete facts. So now let's fast forward. Okay? Let's fast forward through a lot of stuff. Okay? In April of this year, I believe it was. No. Was it April? I think it was April of this year. The WBA ordered Alexander Povetkin. No. What was it, April? The WBA ordered Alexander Povetkin versus Anthony Joshua to take place. Okay? Well, let's just say this year, because my dates are off on that. That's the one part of the video where my dates might be off. When the WBA actually ordered AJ to start negotiating with Povetkin. I think it was April. And shout out to my brother Bo from Truth and Facts About Boxing. Make sure y'all go sub to him. But the WBA ordered Anthony Joshua to start negotiating with his mandatory Alexander Povetkin. Wow. I think that was back in April. Now, mind you, back in April, Deontay Wilder put out a $50 million offer to Anthony Joshua to come to America to fight. But prior to that, Anthony Joshua said, if you guys, talking about Team Wilder, he said, if you guys think this is a $100 million fight, give me $50 million up front. Guarantee me $50 million and I'll sign the fight tomorrow and we can split the rest 50-50. That's what he said on video. And all the AJ protectors were so happy. All the AJ protection channels and commenters were so happy. They made videos bragging about it. Yeah, that's right. If you think it's $50 million, of a $100 million fight, give him $50 million. Right? Wilder came back with that bag. In a shocker. Shocked all of them. Came back with that bag for $50 million and said, let's go. You know what the excuse was from AJ Protection Squad then? What's the proof of funds? Oh, this is a PR stunt. This can't be real. No way. It can't be real. No. We thought we had him. It can't be. Right? Right? Y'all didn't want to believe that the 50, and y'all, some of y'all still saying y'all don't believe the 50 million is real. That's convenient for you. Like, I mean, I always wondered what life would be like if you just live in denial. You know what I'm saying? If you could just say shit didn't happen. Damn, man, I heard you got fired from your job. Nah, man, don't believe, that's fake news, dog. I don't believe that shit. I'm going to work tomorrow. Take your ass to work tomorrow, get locked the fuck up. Security escort your monkey ass out the goddamn building. I mean, you can't live in denial in the real world, only on the internet. Can you pretend like real news is not news? Right? People have taken this fake news shit to a whole nother level. Where you could just deny blatant truth and just, no, fake news. Nah, I'm not admitting it. Sorry, nope. So anyway, y'all gotta forgive me because I'm probably skipping all over a lot of shit. You know what I mean? That I should have been talking about. But anyway, the bottom line here is this, guys. Today, the WBA, the same organization that gave Anthony Joshua the WBA title, gave it to him. He didn't earn it. He didn't fight Luis Ortiz for it. He fought Klitschko for it, and Klitschko didn't own that belt. That was Luis Ortiz's opportunity. Luis Ortiz was supposed to be fighting for that belt, but they fucked him over. Okay? So the same organization, WBA, who gave Anthony Joshua the WBA title, now comes out today and says that Anthony Joshua has 24 hours to sign a contract with Alexander Povetkin. Right? And the way the whole article was written on Sky Sports, they were blaming Team Wilder. Wilder didn't, he had the contract for 9 days and he hasn't signed it yet. Totally ignoring the fact that what Wilder agreed to in principle was not on the contract. So let's just ignore that part. And also, the article also ignored the $50 million. In April 25th of this year, Deontay Wilder responded to Anthony Joshua's request for $50 million and offered him a fight in America for $50 million up front. Right? Guaranteed $50 million. The highest purse in heavyweight boxing history. I repeat, the highest guaranteed purse in heavyweight boxing history. Anthony Joshua then, after saying he would sign the contract tomorrow, if they gave it to him, he came out and says, I'm not going to sell my soul for $50 million. What do you mean, selling your soul? Then he says he don't want to come to America because there's a lot of politics in America. They make you do press tours in America. Right? Yet you were going to come to America to fight Klitschko in a rematch. You got no problem coming to America to fight Klitschko, but you had a problem coming to America to fight the American champion, Deontay Wilder. Right? So the WBA, after fucking over Luis Ortiz, and still fucking over Luis Ortiz, because remind you, the WBA suspended Luis Ortiz until September of this year. Right? They suspended him for a year. Ortiz won't be reinstated until he can be eligible for reinstatement September of this year. If he comes up and asks to be reinstated. But by that time, it'll be too late for Luis Ortiz to get an opportunity against AJ. You see? Because if they're calling Povetkin AJ's mandatory, Ortiz is going to have to wait another year before the WBA ever at least, makes AJ do anything. And we know how they get down. We saw what they did to Ortiz the first time. Fucked him over in plain sight in front of everybody. But it's a big part of the story I'm leaving out, guys. Huge part of this story that I left out in the beginning. In the beginning of this year, okay, Eddie Hearn gave you his plan for Anthony Joshua in 2018. Y'all forgot about that, right? February of this year. February, ladies and gentlemen. February of 2018. Eddie Hearn, the promoter of Anthony Joshua, said on video right here on YouTube, the man said AJ's going to face Joseph Parker. He's going to face Joseph Parker next. And after Parker, we're going to face Alexander Povetkin. That's what he said. That was his plan. Povetkin after Parker. And also, who else agreed with that? Alexander Povetkin's promoter did an interview where he said that Povetkin would be facing Anthony Joshua next, not Deontay Wilder. Alexander Povetkin did an interview there was unboxing scene back in February of this year. Povetkin said, if AJ beats Joseph Parker and I beat Price, I've been informed that I will be next for Anthony Joshua. That's why we're fighting on the same card, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we're fighting on the same card. So all of this has been bullshit. These so-called negotiations with Deontay Wilder. AJ and Eddie Hearn never intended on fighting the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder. Not yet. They don't intend on fighting him next. Okay? If they fight him next, it will be due to Deontay Wilder's extreme pushing for this fight. You understand? Wilder's extreme pushing for this fight is the only thing that will get this fight done. Wilder has gone above and beyond to try to make this fight happen. AJ has been totally disrespectful. Eddie Hearn has been totally disrespectful to the American champ, offering him $12.5 million, an offer they knew he would refuse. See, it's a couple of ways to get out of a fight. You can outbid yourself, right? You can overprice yourself, or you can lowball somebody, okay? All the research says that this fight is a $100 million fight between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn knows the numbers, just like Shelly Finkel and Al Heyman know the numbers. But Eddie Hearn played dumb for the UK fan base. He played dumb. Oh, it's not a $100 million fight. Oh, I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. Right? Tried to get Wilder to take a sucker's deal of $12.5 million. Flat fee. You get nothing else. You get $12.5 million. We take the rest. Right? So if the fight makes $100 million, we take all the rest of that money. We only gonna get AJ 30, but we get to keep. We Matchroom Boxing make more money than both of you motherfuckers combined. Right? That's the work of the devil. AJ's fine with it because, you know, some niggas, you give them a few million, they'll sell their soul. They'll do anything for you. They gave for pay. They do anything for a couple mil. I see these fools in the comments talking about Wilder should have took the $12.5 million. How? All right? You got $100 million on the table. And he's supposed to take 12.5 for what? For what reason? You knock out AJ, right? You got 12.5 million. That rest of that money you would have made ain't coming back. That's not coming back. If you knock him out in devastating fashion, you're not going to convince all those people to come back in the rematch and watch it again. No, the numbers are going to drop off a bit. You got to be about your money, right? You got to be smart, right? Wilder backed off the 50-50 talk. Yeah? He backed off of that. He backed off the 50-50 talk and said, look, I'll take 40%. Right? Y'all give me 40%, I'll fight you in the UK. You take 60%. That wasn't even good enough for Eddie Hearn and AJ. No, they want to rob and rape Deontay Wilder financially. They know this is the biggest fight of their career. It's not Klitschko. You guys are trying to overhype the Klitschko win for AJ. Okay? Klitschko win was a good win. Yes, it was, absolutely. But you guys are trying to overhype it. Klitschko on paper is 41 years old at the time he fought Anthony Joshua. On paper, Luis Ortiz was 39 years old. Yet you motherfuckers come up here with no evidence and talk about how Luis Ortiz is 44 and 45 years old with no evidence whatsoever, just because you feel like it. Because this is the internet, and you can say any fucking thing you want without any proof. But totally ignore the fact that Klitschko was in his 40s when he fought AJ. And coming off a 2-year layoff. And an L to Tyson Fury. Let's ignore that. And let's talk about the most dangerous heavyweight at the time, Luis Ortiz. Let's talk about him being 40-some years old. with no evidence. Oh, well, I think he lied about his age. Come on, Ortiz is at least 50. You know, this is what they do. This is what they do. AJ didn't want to fight him. However old Luis Ortiz, if let's say he's not 39, AJ didn't want no smoke with him. That's the fact. He didn't want no smoke. He could have fought him. They lied to that man. That was Ortiz's WBA title, and they lied to that man. They robbed him of his title shot. With all these clowns running around talking about how big Ortiz fans they are on the internet. Oh, I want to see Ortiz get his shot. I'm a big Luis Ortiz fan. Ortiz needs his shot. But you only pressured Wilder to fight Ortiz, not the guy who was supposed to fight him in Anthony Joshua. Right? See, this is why I know people are full of shit. This is why I know where the bias comes in at. You understand? People can come on here and pretend all they want to about being fair. That don't mean shit to me. You understand me? That don't mean shit to nobody. Your actions, what you actually do, tell the truth. Don't tell me you were an Ortiz fan and you want Ortiz to get his title shot, but when Ortiz is AJ's mandatory, you ain't calling AJ a ducker. You ain't saying AJ don't want no smoke. You going all the way over to another section about it, to Deontay Wilder, telling him he's ducking Ortiz. Then when he signed up and beat Ortiz's ass, y'all got to talk about Ortiz being 100 years old. Right? This is it, man. This is what people do. This is the hypocrisy of the boxing fan. Let me sip some of this orange juice. This is the hypocrisy of the boxing fan right here. Okay? So like I've been saying this last week, Anthony Joshua has successfully ducked the two most dangerous heavyweights in the division. He has ducked them in Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder and Luis Ortiz. He has ducked them. Sure, he fought Klitschko, right? Like I said, Klitschko, who coming off a 2-year layoff and an L to Tyson Fury, and was 41 years old. Joshua fought him, and Joshua's fighting ability, his lack thereof, made Klitschko look like the best Klitschko we ever seen in our lives. In a loss. Klitschko's never looked that good against anybody else, but against AJ he looked that good. And everybody wanted to give AJ so much credit for that. AJ fought the best version of Klitschko. No, he didn't. AJ's lack of defense made Klitschko look that good. That's the truth of the matter. You understand? So, many boxing writers and boxing pundits fell in love with Anthony Joshua and the idea of Anthony Joshua during the Klitschko fight because it was a good matchup, right? Because there was so many people there and the arena and the atmosphere was so great that many writers and boxing pundits fell in love with the idea of Anthony Joshua. And they made everybody else the B-side. So they hated on Deontay Wilder. Still hating on him. You understand? Still hating on him. Why didn't the WBA, like I said in my live stream earlier, why didn't the WBA come out today and scold Anthony Joshua for taking all this time, right? Taking over a month to turn down $50 million. Why didn't they scold Joshua for turning down $50 million? Why? But they're trying to sneak scold Wilder. Oh, well, Wilder has had a contract for 9 days and he hasn't returned it yet, signed. Anthony Joshua got an offer for $50 million. He asked for it. He got an offer. All he had to do was say, I accept. He would have gotten the contract. We could be talking about this fight right now. Instead, everybody wants to ignore that crucial fact. Everybody wants to ignore the $50 million offer and talk about what Wilder should have done. Listen, just because you will sell your soul, just because all you bum-ass niggas out there will kill your mama, right, and sell your baby, and sell your own ass for a couple of bucks with your broke asses, don't mean somebody else should sell themselves short. Wilder was being more than reasonable. He told Anthony Joshua from the beginning, from the fucking beginning, I'll take 10 fucking % in the first fight if, when I whoop your ass, you take the same thing in the rematch. Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn said no. So it wasn't about the money with Wilder. It was about fairness, okay? Being treated like a man, treated with respect. He said, I'll take 10 fucking % in the first fight if you think that's fair. As long as you take that in the rematch when I whoop your ass. Right? Eddie Hearn and AJ said, absolutely not. We're not doing that. Right? So Wilder said, well, fuck it. Give me 40% then. Give me 40%. Nope, we're not doing that either. Wilder said, all right, fuck it. I'll give you $50 million up front, guaranteed. And then the rest of it split 50-50. Come over here in America and let's fight. Nope, we ain't doing that either. Right? Like, it's ridiculous. Nobody wants to talk about that. Let's pretend like that never happened. Let's only talk about the fact that Deontay Wilder is looking at a contract that Eddie Hearn has rigged up with some funny wording. And now, conveniently, the WBA comes out and says, you got 24 hours to make a fight with Povetkin. After Wilder didn't already announce that he's going to send the contract this week to Eddie Hearn, they said, well, no, you got 24 hours. No, AJ got 24 hours to fight Povetkin. 24 hours. No. This is all set up by Eddie Hearn. Master manipulator. Him and Povetkin's promoter rigged this shit up, put pressure on the WBA to come out and do this. And I don't expect anybody outside the LDBC, I don't expect anybody else to come out and tell it like it is this way. I expect them to come out and try to be fair, and see it from AJ's perspective. You understand? I understand that because a lot of these guys are credential whores. They sell their soul, they sell their ass for credentials. You understand? They say the wrong things, they ain't gonna get none. But over here in the LDBC, we don't need them. We still standing on top. Right? We still standing on top. Everywhere you go, we go. Like Shannon Briggs say. Where you go, I go, champ. And we don't need no credentials to do so. You understand? Don't need no credentials to do so. We still talk to the fighters. You understand? We still get to the press conferences. You understand? Still get all the interviews without giving up our booty like you motherfuckers got to do. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, y'all. I expect Anthony Joshua to fight Alexander Povetkin. And we'll see what Deontay Wilder does, who he chooses as an opponent next. 70 Sports TV. Shout out to the LDBC. And I holla.